Danny Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with the BKFC president, David Feldman, who is a busy man these days. Always been busy, but I feel like busier is now the word. Having obviously a lot of events with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and just a lot going on with the promotion. So, David, first of all, thank you for taking time to chat with me and in your busy schedule. And how are things? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Danny. Thank you, man. It is busy, but this is what we asked for. This is what we wanted, and we're getting it, and we're putting on, show after show after show, and developing these fighters and these talents.
Yeah, certainly good problems to have. And look, we're about what 2 months into the Triller acquisition. How are things? Did anything change after making that big step and sort of letting go of the wheel a little bit as far as being the majority stakes and all that?
Yeah,
How is life with Triller now?
yeah. Not too much has changed yet. We didn't really dive in full force yet. It's probably going to be in around June when we do that. And I'm never going to let go of that steering wheel. So we're going to have a fight on that because I love this thing, man. It's always going to stay the way it is right here with the authenticity, the pureness, everything that we give with bare knuckle fighting. I'm sure there's going to be some little things that change here and there. And there's also going to be an opportunity to have a lot of their different influencers and their different avenues of getting more eyeballs on this thing. So that's going to be a great thing for us. I think they're going to be tremendous partners. I'm looking forward to really diving in with them and integrating our teams. But like I said, that's probably going to start in the June timeframe.
Okay, nice. And obviously, you guys have been very successful as a promotion, so you don't want to change too much. You don't want to mess around with the recipe too much. But what are some of the things that, with this acquisition, now having more resources, having sort of a bigger backing, what does that bring? What are some things that you guys are trying to bring now with this partnership with Triller?
I just think it's gonna help us get better numbers. So we're gonna have more viewers on this thing. So we have more platforms to be on, and because of that, that's gonna lead to bigger and better sponsorships, bigger and better fighters. So we're gonna have I think we're gonna sign a lot more boxers as well now because we're gonna have that kind of backing for us to be able to do that. So I think, like I said, it's kind of rolling out the way that I kind of planned this thing to be. And I said, a couple months ago, I said, I think within 2 to 3 years from right now, we are going to be, number two, number three in all of combat sports. And I truly believe that because I think our sport is so adaptable, meaning I think anyone in the world that you go up to and you say, "Do you know what a bare knuckle punch to the face is?" Everybody in the world knows what that is. So I think it's
Yeah.
just easier to know what bare knuckle is and easier to get adaptable to it.
Yeah. And I remember speaking to you at BKFC 20, and we were just kind of sort of looking back, 20, a nice whole number of events, and you were kind of taken away by how fast this thing's grown and how much progress you guys have made in little time. It seems in that conversation, we can have that conversation again because a lot of things have changed since. Do you sometimes have to sort of pinch yourself and just kind of look around and see how fast and how big things have gotten for BKFC?
Yeah, you know what? One of my guys, he's my mentor, just in life in general, real good guy. And he said, "Dave, here's what I want you to do, man. I want you to jump out of the jar." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Jump out. I need you to jump out of the jar and read the label." So what I want you to do is I want you to go home and I want you to go on the internet and I want you to search BKFC. I want you to search David Feldman and just look at all the things that you've accomplished in the past 3 years. And I was like, okay, so I did it. And I was like, wow, man, like you don't have time to look at it or enjoy it really, or really see how big it's getting until, you do something like that. And I had a lot more appreciation for all the hard work that everybody's doing when I started reading all the stories and seeing all the videos and all the accomplishments that we did. It's tremendous. I do kind of pinch myself. And now to have this great deal and to be able to take care of my team as well, that's what means the most to me, to make sure that my entire team is taken care of and they're going to be taken care of now. So, that's a great thing for us.
Yeah, most definitely. And look, a lot to talk about here as far as the fighting goes. So let's get right into it. First things first. Today, Monday, it was announced that Ben Rothwell, former UFC contender at heavyweight, signed with the promotion. He revealed it with Ariel Hawani. Talk to us about that signing. Obviously, a big name in the MMA space, a fighter that competed in the UFC for well over a decade. Was this a guy, as soon as he became free agent, as soon as he cut ties with the UFC, that you were going to jump on and try to bring on board?
Yeah, we actually talked prior to him becoming a free agent. You know, we weren't asking for him, but we knew that he was becoming available in the next fight after that. So that fight actually never happened, and he became available. So it was the perfect time to grab him. He's a guy that displays everything we need with bare knuckle. He wants to stand there and bang. He is a good grappler as well, but he likes to fight, and he's got heavy hands and he's exactly what we want. He's either a guy that's going to knock someone out or get knocked out, and that's exactly what BKFC is all about.
Yeah, I know things just got announced, but do we have a date for him? Do we have an opponent? Any details on his debut?
Yeah, not yet. We're actually making three other major heavyweight signings this week. I can't dump them yet because the contracts aren't done, but one is a former boxing world title challenger multiple times. Another one is a former UFC guy, and another one just hasn't been around for about 3 years. Another former UFC fighter, but I think all four of these guys are going to make a big impact in the heavyweight division. But we're looking at a July August timeframe for Ben. That's when he's going to fight. We don't have an opponent yet, but hopefully it's one of these new signings that we're getting.
Okay, nice. Things getting spicy in the heavyweight division. And something else that I wanted to talk to you. The last event that I covered for BKFC was down here in South Florida, and we saw Luis Baum Palomino defend his belt. And he had told me that he had fought out his contract, that was the last fight on his deal. Can we get an update on where the standing of Luis Palomino? Is he still with the promotion? Did he get renewed?
100%. I mean, we didn't renew it yet. Look, a lot of the fighters, there's one or two fighters that might say they don't like me, but most of the fighters like what I do for them. And I allowed him to run out his contract for one reason, because we're looking to do a big fight in Peru where he's from. And if he did something like that, then it wouldn't be his normal contract. It would be a different contract for him. And if he did a big fight against, let's say, like a Chad Mendez or something, that it would, a different form. I wanted him to have that freedom to at least be able to negotiate for himself a little bit more. But we have a great relationship. We were with each other this weekend. We're going to be talking this week, and he's going to be fighting on June 4th at the Hard Rock Casino. Opponent to be determined. I think it's going to be a good one for him. No, we have a great relationship, and he's going to continue with us. Look, this is his home, and we're glad that he's home, that he feels home with us as well. But I basically that was something that we did for him. I could have demanded that he re-signed before that last fight, and he would have had to, or he wouldn't have fought. But I know the kind of relationship I have with most of these guys, and I knew that we were going to be able to work everything out.
Yeah, and how close is that potential event in Peru? Obviously, he is Peruvian. He was just there in Peru, posting on his Instagram, kind of creating awareness for bare knuckle boxing. And we know Peru has a history of warriors, so obviously in that country. So, how close are you guys? Have you guys starting to look at venues? How close are we from having an event there?
Not yet. We're still tightening up all the legalization over there right now, which I don't think it's going to be very difficult. And then, if we're going to do it this year, we're probably going to do it in the October timeframe. And if it doesn't happen this year, then we'll do it when it warms up a little bit, March or April over there. But I'm really looking forward to it, because I really think that Luis Palomino can do a 20,000 seat, 30,000 seat stadium there, because he's a legend over there, and I think that it would be great just to have that many roaring fans, cheering for BKFC, ultimately cheering for Luis Palomino.
Yeah, for sure. And you had just mentioned Chad Mendes. He fought on the same card, made his BKFC debut, looked very great against Fames, picked up a victory, and he just looked like he was made for this, even though he comes from a wrestling background. Talk a little bit about Chad Mendes. Is there an update on him as far as a potential return?
Yeah, he'll be back end of summer. We talked about him coming back a little earlier, but his trainer had some issues with his child, a little bit of illness, so he had to take care of that. And Chad didn't want to put any pressure on his trainer, so he pushed back a little bit, and I really respect him for that. So Chad will be back in the August, September, maybe October at the latest time frame.
Okay, nice. And another fighter that I wanted to get an update on is Paige VanZant. We know that she's going to return July 9th, right? July 19th. You guys said July 16th. I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys switched things up recently as far as your London date. By the way, congrats on the venue switch. I hear obviously a bigger seated arena, right? That you guys switched to with this date.
Yeah, the Wembley Arena. So it's going to
Hmm.
be. It's not the Wembley Stadium. I don't want anyone mistaken. It's not the thousands venue that Tyson Fury just sold out, but it's the Wembley Arena, which a lot of major promotions have put on great events there, and it's tremendous. Like I said in an interview I did earlier, was look, we started out in an ice skating rink in Cheyenne, Wyoming, June 2nd, 2018, to the Wembley Arena in London, 4 years later. So, pushing hard, working hard, and we're accomplishing a lot of great things right now.
Yeah. Any inklings? Have you guys gotten close to narrow down an opponent for Paige Vincent?
Not yet, but definitely within the next week we're going to. We've just been really busy knocking out everything else we have knocked out. But now that we have that 100% confirmed with the arena and with her, we're gonna, we'll knock out an opponent for her in the next week or so.
Yeah, and she's gonna headline the event, right?
She's not going to headline the event. That
Oh,
was
okay.
not the yeah. So she's going to actually. She'll be the feature bout. So we'll have a main event, a co-main event. She'll be the feature bout of the evening. Um, I wish I could announce these guys, but they're both one's under negotiation right now, a former heavyweight challenger, which we're trying to lock him up right now, and then another very, very popular mixed martial artist out of England that we're trying to lock him up for the co-main event as well. So they'll all be announced here in the next couple of days.
Okay. Did he fight in the UFC? Can we get a clue?
He did fight in the UFC.
Okay. Is he gonna fight anytime soon?
Fought in the UFC, fought in Bellator. And if he does, he's going to fight July 16th, be our co-main event.
Okay, nice. And Paige Van Sand, obviously, whenever you mention her, you have to talk about Rachel Ostovich as well, due to their past in the UFC and bare knuckle fighting as well. Any update on her? I know you told me that she was going to sign a new deal, or I don't know if that already took place, but she was close to signing a new deal maybe a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
What's going on with her?
Yeah, we just got that done actually. So we're looking to get her back June, July as well. She's going to be great to come back. I mean, she fought really, really good against Paige Van Zandt, had some great hands, promotes well, everything we really want in a fighter in our organization. So can't wait to have her back again. Like I said, midsummer she'll be back, and it's going to be great to have her.
Mm-hmm. And something else that's been brewing, and we haven't really gotten some confirmation on this, but Mike Perry, he's been wanting a title shot, or at least that's what he said after his debut. Obviously, taking a crack at your current champion and former UFC fighter, Thiago Alves. Thiago Alves recently told me that he's down for the fight. Perry seemed to be down after his debut. What's going on there? Is that the next title fight for Thiago Alves?
I'm gonna I could probably let you know in an hour, because I have a call with his manager after this to try to get that done. So I'm gonna let you know. He's going to be back again June or July as well. He'll be on one of those cards, Thiago, for sure, 100%. He'll be defending his title. He's a great guy. He's been with the organization, now for 2 fights since September 11, 2020. Had some injuries, but, really looking forward to get him back, because both of his fights that he fought for us so far could have been fight of the night contenders. So, we're looking forward to get him back, and could be Mike Perry. Mike Richmond just became the #1 contender. Could be that. Could be some other names as well. We got a lot of balls we're juggling right now, trying to pull them down and make sense of everything. So, the fans get to get everything they're supposed to get.
Yeah. So he's got options. And I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you after the Knucklemania 2 event. What'd you make of Mike Perry's debut in bare knuckle?
He looked great. I mean, look, bare knuckles it's different, and obviously we know it's different, but it's different. It's just when you get hit, it's a different pain. It's not like you get rattled. You can get hit in your eye the wrong way, and it's like, wow, man, I can't really see that well right now. So I thought he did really well. He dropped Julian Lane. I thought he found himself by the end of the fight. He really knows. I think he, just by talking to him, he knows what he needs to work on for his next one. So I expect a very much improved Mike Perry for his next one. But I thought he had a great debut. I mean, he fought a tough competitor in his first fight, who's been in there with everyone in BKFC so far. So, I think hats off to Mike Perry, and he's how I described him prior to the fight is exactly how I'll describe him after the fight. He's just like, if I could take one of the fighters and say you're a BKFC fighter, it would be Mike Perry, because he walked right to you. He banged. He did everything he was supposed to do. Took punches and kept coming back. So, hats off to him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because he entered BKFC with really high expectations, and obviously, debuted. I'm sure, even though he might not admit it, there must be some nerves going into a new sport, new promotion, leaving the UFC, et cetera, et cetera. So did you feel like he met those expectations? Like, were you satisfied with what he was able to deliver?
Absolutely, I was. I thought he did great. I thought he dropped Julian Lane early on in the fight. I think it was just, it was it was a great fight by him. I thought, like I said, this is different. This is a different sport, and a lot of people aren't used to this. And to go in there and get hit with the bare knuckle and keep coming back as he did. He fought the entire 5 rounds. Great fight, and I think he's built for this.
Yeah. And something that I want to ask you about, because it's here in my backyard. You guys are planning a big event in June in Fort Lauderdale at the Hard Rock. Can you give us some news here? I know you guys are dealing with a lot of things, but can you give us some breaking news here with MMA Junkie on a potential signing, or even just a fight booked for that June card in Fort Lauderdale?
I mean, I don't have them all signed yet, Danny, but I will
Oh,
tell you.
come on, David. Come on.
Oh, I'll tell you a couple of the guys that will be on there, though. I will tell you that for sure. Luis Palomino will definitely be on there. He could be defending his title, or he could be fighting for a different title. So that's
Okay.
a nugget right there. Mike Perry's going to be back. We're just deciding on who that opponent's going to be for him. One of these major signings that I'm doing this week are going to be on that card as well. Could be Ben Rothwell. We're looking at that as well. So, but I really don't have. If I did, I honestly would break something for you, because it's been great to us. But I don't have anything completely signed and concrete yet, because we just got the contract from the Hard Rock actually today. So we couldn't really pencil anything in yet. So tomorrow, the next day, we'll have that whole entire card done.
Nothing booked for Palomino, but I mean, that's expected, obviously, that he comes and fights in June here in Fort Lauderdale. You mentioned potential another belt rematch with Elvin Brito. I know he's been very vocal about that, about going up a weight class and taking on that. I know nothing's booked. I just want to make sure that's,
it could be.
that's clear here on the interview. But is that the plan, or is that the idea?
I think it's a lot more of an intriguing fight than it was the first time they fought. I think it means something now. I think Elvin Brito gained a lot of experience since then, as did Luis Palomino. I think they're, two of the, I would say, most skilled bare knuckle fighters out there right now. So it should be a very intriguing matchup if they fight. We'll see if we can knock that out in the next day or two with the negotiations, and see if that's the way we want to go. And then, like I said, with Luis Palomino, if it is that and he gets past it, and then we go to Peru, and then when we come back, we do a big fight for him. He's someone that is going to stay with the organization for a long time. He's going to come on in some way, shape, or form and be a part of BKFC, for as long as he wants to. He's been great for us. He's been a great advocate for us, and we want to give it back to him.
Yeah, certainly one of the best BKFC fighters out there, one of the best bare knuckle boxing fighters out there. He's doing really good stuff in the sport. All right, David. Well, appreciate the time. I know you're a very busy man, so very thankful for taking time to chat with us here on MMA Junkie. And best of luck in these coming months. I know you guys have a busy schedule, and I'll see you in Fort Lauderdale in June.
Thanks a lot, Danny. Appreciate the support.